for when this is recorded and put on YouTube, shoutouts to our YouTube audience. We appreciate you.
Audience helps make the world go round.
It really does. Oh, wow, and we are off. Oh, ominous statement of bad luck coming from the uncle.
Bad uncle. Keep that bad luck away.
Oh, Moon Pearl right off the bat. That's... I want to say that's ominous, but that's not nearly as ominous as getting the Cape or the Master Sword.
Yeah, that...
Granted... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, early Moon Pearl, that's kind of the opposite of bad luck.
Yeah, that's pretty convenient, because that could go either way. If you get the Cape, you're just like, welp. But if you get something such as the hammer or a glove, you have a chance of having to not worry about Aga 1. Ooh, we're getting some early Kane strats. I do like that. Kane Berna coming into play. Kyle using it to take care. Oh, go ahead. By all means.
Yeah, Blue Cane, you gotta make sure you watch your magic, but it's pretty effective as long as you know how often you can actually use it.
You are absolutely correct on that. And something I didn't find out until rewatching a race from another commentator. It actually takes more magic to actually reactivate it after stopping it than to keep it going for short distances. So magic conservation is very crucial at the beginning here, because you're going to need to make sure you have enough to not only get through the areas that are enemy locked, but to also make sure that if you happen to miss or run out of the pots in the basement, to be able to still kill the Mace Man, the Mace Knight, as I like to say, in the basement. Sorry, that rhymed really weird for me. 10 arrow upgrade, hooray, the one thing we're all looking for.
Now, the other thing about Blue Cane is, as we said before, having the magic, they're still probably going to want to try to farm bombs for the back of escape.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Not having to retread escape is very important, because that not only gets 3 more chests out of the way, that also gives you a little extra possibility of anything else being crucial for a run and not having to come back after you grab some gloves. And the next chest we get is the second key, hooray. We now know the map is somewhere in the next 5 chests? 6 chests, because I almost forgot Sanctuary.
Yeah, you mentioned not wanting to traverse Sanctuary, not wanting to traverse the escape again. I have heard of some evil situations where bombs were not even in the drop table, and both gloves were locked in the back, and having to completely go through the front of the castle just to get to escape.
That is brutal. However, a little less brutal, 100 rupees, making sure you at least have enough for the bottle vendor. On the downside, that does mean we don't have bombs. So that also could mean if they don't get 30 more rupees, they might have to spend 50 of that 120 to get some bombs, and that's going to take a little extra time out of the bottle vendor.
Either that or farming the 50-50 bomb drops going through Kakariko from the south, from Link's house.
That is a good point. I forgot about that because I haven't touched that since the open mode tournament. But that is a very valid strategy, especially if you want to still take the chance of using that route instead of having to go through Sanctuary. 2 Zeldas, yes, this is actually the Link to the Past version of the 90s sitcom Sister Sister. 2 twins and their own bit of dilemma. I've got nothing on that one. In the meantime, we're getting some solid hallway clearing strats.
Yeah, Zunker's still looking for those bombs, and magic's running a little low. Let's see if he knows where these pots are in the back to get a little bit more magic.
This is going to be a little bit hairy unless he damage boosts through. Oh, fun thing to note, I never opened up those pots before. ever, so I just realized those had magic in them.
Yeah, there's been nowhere.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, sorry. We're having that whole back and forth accidental timing thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's been no real need to actually explore the pots in the back of Escape until this new standard mode that introduced randomized weapons.
Huh. Well, that's actually pretty awesome. I love finding out we're still discovering new things. And once again, now Zunker also having the arrow upgrade. This time only a +5, a little less exciting than the absolutely titillating +10 arrows. Oh, first rat off the bat. Or not off the bat, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, they know where these magic drops are, and there's a bomb right at the last possible moment.
Wow, that timing.
And Zunker getting it over by the key rat.
Oh, convenient. And there's the map. Shoutouts to anyone that's hungry, because it looks like a burrito. And we got a whole lot of pretty much nothing for our troubles. We got another arrow upgrade and a Pizza Hut.
Yeah, the only thing worthwhile back there is just peace of mind.
And we have the Sanctuary chest coming up. 6:34, all things considered, a very decent time. And, oh, we get the first Big 20 sighting, I think?
Yeah, some of the rats were kind with Big 20s, so they might not have to go farm the 50-50 bombs. They can probably pay off the bottle vendor and buy their 10 bombs.
That would be convenient. Even people in our chat are commenting, yeesh, what a dry start, and that is not incorrect. This is going to be one of those things where we're going to have to see how well Kakarika pays off. Otherwise, we're on an adventure to find literally anything that helps progress, because right now, we're on a whole whopping amount of pretty nothing.
Yeah, and the tree pull prize is hard, the bush crab is hard, so they still don't even have any more bombs.
That is rough. Shoutouts to everyone who complains, oh, green rupee on the lumberjack spot, so that means it is not guaranteed that AGA 1 is required.
As dry as the start's been, though, I wouldn't be surprised if that's their Dark World access.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Unless we get some sort of really insane Kakariko. This is turning out to be... Oh, I was hoping I'd say that and something amazing would pop up in the forest. Well, it is turning out to be rather mysterious. Hey, 50 rupees. Looks like at least you don't have to worry too much about bombs. Granted, the only one that would have had that would be Zunker by 2 rupees. But that'd be literally, what, maybe a couple of bushes?
Now, there is a second pull tree in the Lost Woods, and they're both running past it.
And it doesn't always guarantee the same drop as the tree that you originally pull. So that is always interesting to find out. Or at least that has been my experience. Someone that might know better, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong about that.
There are 3 tiers of tree pulls. The first tier is kill 1 enemy. The second tier is... I think it's a 3 enemy threshold while being hit.
Okay.
And the third tier is 3 enemy threshold without being hit.
Gotcha. Okay, so it does go off those same 3 tiers then. Oh, hello!
Whoa.
Both glove upgrades. Kakariko, we have Dark World access at what cost?
It's Dark World access. It's 4 heart green male with blue cane as your weapon. Dark World access.
I'm already going to imagine Thieves Town Red Crystal. Let's go. Oh, that'd be nightmarish.
The sad part is Thieves Town is full clearable with the exception of the big chest right now.
Yup. That is literally the only thing that they'd have to be worrying about. And right now, it doesn't look like it doesn't look like we're going to see that right now. I think they're going to be checking a lot of the overworld and light world just in case, because free items are free items.
Yeah, I'd expect to see South Shore before Dark World, just trying to get some kind of weaponry.
Gotta say, it would definitely be a power play to see someone hop into Dark World right now.
There's some money. So, chat pointing out, Zunker did not check the back of the of Blind's hut, so we'll see that from Silly Kyle first.
Oh, you're right. He didn't have bombs, that's why. And Silly Kyle getting a pair of mismatching gloves. Oh, and that was the other one I missed, the red boomerang. Of course. And survey says, oh, it's not too worth it anyway. So if he did end up missing that, it wouldn't be too much to worry about.
It wouldn't, but on green mail, that extra heart does mean a bit.
Valid point. Oh, and
especially
what is
since
this?
Kyle's making the play.
Kyle's making the play right off the bat. Let's go. Green mail, 7 hearts. What could go wrong? The answer is everything. Oh, no map check from either of them. Oh, there's a map check. We got all 3 pendants in the Dark World. 1 at Mire, 1 at Turtle Rock, and green is Palace of Darkness. Oh my goodness.
And we have a red crystal over at Ice Palace. Ice Palace is a vanilla 5 crystal. Is this even randomized?
Oh, we got a big 20 out of the chest game as well. Yep, even chat's pointing out no medallions potentially needed, and that is going to be fantastic if so for our runners.
I'd be a bit cautious saying that, though, because you have Palace of Darkness has 5 items plus the green pendant. Turtle Rock has 5 items.
Oh, I know. Don't worry. There's a very big if that comes with the statement I just made, I assure you. Oh, and we're going to see the race game first. And it's a bottle. Looks like Zunker is going to be going for it, so that way we can see what Sick Kid has. That is 1 item location that Zunker will have that Kyle will not.
Zunker also checked the library, but it was just a piece of heart, I believe.
Ah, I see. And we're going to everyone's favorite attempt to beat Bob Ross. The digging game. It's funny how they're giving themselves an interdimensional high five right now.
You don't see that very often.
No, but it's always welcomed. And it looks like Kyle is going for as many digs as possible. Unless Kyle's accidentally drawing something that I just haven't noticed yet. No, probably not.
I think it was 23 digs.
That was... Ouch. Oh, is he gonna... And he gets out of there before getting the comment of, "Oh, time's up, time for you to leave. I'm about to screen transition." Thanks, Alec Baldwin. Meanwhile, Zunker to the rescue, heading over to the Eastern Palace. As we know, all 3 of the Light World palaces are in fact crystals. So that is going to be an interesting play to make without anything for it. Meanwhile, we're at Sahasrara, and we're going to see what is in the old man's garage. We got the mirror, the ice rod, and an arrow upgrade. Meanwhile, old Stumpy has $50. And Kyle is taking Senior Frog on a tour of the world.
So, over in Sahasrara, we got something we wanted and something we never wanted to see.
Yeah. Yeah, you are correct. Although I have to admit, even though it gets a bad rap, it is a nice rod. And the other red crystal is at Desert Palace. The moment one of them has a flute, they have access to Misery Mire, which is as much of a blessing as a cure. Oh, Silly Kyle goes down with the sickness.
It did not get that hype cave check in.
And because it was the overworld, starts back in the light world. That is going to damper any dark world progress that they're going to be making. Maybe this will give them the time. Oh wait, was that an intentional death warp this whole time? Did I miss that?
No, I'm pretty sure they would have checked hype cave and then done a save quit.
Gotcha. That does sound logically like the best answer at that point.
Although in reality, it's not going to be too much of a time loss. It just means they have to transition, like or just one extra screen with the purple chest to go check hype cave.
Gotcha.
A little bit of a time loss, but not terrible.
Oh, and we have Ether. Ooh, oh, that's a little boding. Ice Rod and a pendant. We may be seeing our racers go down to Turtle Rock. Down to Turtle Rock.
Oh boy, we've seen progression in Turtle Rock before, and no
It's
racer
never a pretty
wants to see
sight.
it.
It's never a pretty sight. Like those moments you find Fire Rod in Turtle Rock in the first chest on the left. Oh.
And it's not even going to
Before
feel
that
good. It's not even going to feel good to check it this time because it's a pendant.
That is, yeah, that never feels good. Big key over on Zunker, and Kyle is heading right over to see the bottle. Did Zunker head to the sick kid by chance? Because I didn't see that. I don't think he did. In the meantime, Big Chest has a heart, and without being able to finish the rest of the dungeon and knowing the rest of them are not items, question mark? Pretty sure. Yeah, no, I think the item count for Eastern Palace is 3, and I thought I saw 3 items, but I could be terribly wrong.
I think we saw 3. I think we did see 3.
Wait, no, there was only... yeah, he opened 4 chests. One of them was at least the big key. If they saved and quit, unless they were wrong, then chances are they got all the items and they're going to go back later. That makes sense. And now we're going into the dam. We're going to be seeing some excellent mirror strats. So you can just get... Oh, and there's the fire rod! That opens up at least one dungeon for them, which is Skull Woods.
Be more accurate. Oh!
Oh my gosh, there's the hammer. Oh. This is... Suddenly, everything is clicking into place. We now have almost everything we need to be able to take care of Palace of Darkness. Why would you want to when it's a pendant? But let's just say you had to. We have...
But they have no bow.
Oh, that's true.
And they can't finish Skull Woods.
They do have the potion. They could potion glitch, but that does not get them all the way through. You're right. I just realized that as I was saying it.
And they also can't finish Skull Woods because there's no sword.
Yep, you are actually correct. I forgot about that. And right now, not that much of a haul from the Thieves' Den, but a lot of bombs that you were missing out on earlier in the run. And Resident Sleeper Cave holding a whole lot of nothing.
A couple of normally like high possibility to be hype and not delivering.
No, indeed. So right now, with Zunker's loadout and what we know that Kyle can access, Zunker has the ability to go to Death Mountain, has the ability to go to various... Oh, is that the walking on water glitch that I'm seeing attempted?
No, I think he just got stuck on the ledge and decided to use it to get invulnerability frames.
Gotcha. I've yet to train on that, so I'm not familiar with how it looks, so that's my mistake.
You need the boots to be able to do the walk on water glitch you're thinking of.
Gotcha. Hey, we're getting an Ice Rod cave check. I mean, might as well at this point. Oh, the lamp is right there. Well, it looks
Well,
like
that-
logically we can now go to Aghanim. we can't. Don't take that seriously. That was all just being facetious. Because we still don't have a single sword and we don't have the cape.
This scene is being a bit odd in its placement of items right now.
Yeah, and the routing is a little improvised, I believe, from both of our runners right now. Because there seems like there could have been a lot of linearity, depending on if you want the typical route in some ways versus others. Or maybe double backed for the sick kid after getting the bottle and then continuing on. But nonetheless, you are finding a lot of valuable items along the way. Zunker going in to Dark World, giving the map check, confirming what we already know. Getting suddenly confused, pondering the thoughts of life, and then continuing on to the Village of Outcasts. Meanwhile, sillykyle22 gets catfished by catfish.
And unfortunately, Kyle doesn't have the mirror yet, so he can't just do a Zora check while he's over there.
Nope, unfortunately not. He's gonna have to go and find that one soon. Zunker getting that 120 out of the chest. A little more generous than the time Kyle went and got it. And we're seeing it opened. Are we seeing an immediate? Nope, we are not seeing an immediate dive into Thieves Town. We are going straight into Sea House, possibly going a little lower to the other places. As we know, the frog not really yielding a whole lot. We know that the bombable hut doesn't yield a whole lot. We know that the race game yields practically nothing.
So right now we have locations in Skullwoods that can be checked.
Yep.
Between what they've got, they can clear Thieves Town, including the chest.
Yep. If Zunker remembers to go to Sick Kid and get the hammer, he can complete everything in Thieves Town. He can go through most of Skullwoods. Again, without the sword, I don't believe he has the access to Mothiel that I thought he did. With a Moon Pearl, they could technically go into ice. Whether they want to or not is a different story, but they technically could. The mountain is technically available to Kyle.
Once Zunker gets the hammer, he'll actually be able to full clear Light and Dark Death Mountains.
Yep.
With the exception of Hookshot Cave.
That is true, yes. That is a good point. And having everything he has, he would, the moment he gets the hammer, of course, would be the moment he was able to also clear out Tower of Hera, which would give us our first crystal.
Yeah, steering clear of Thieves Town while your only weapon is the blue cane, because you have to be pretty precise to be able to use that full magic bar to kill blind. Or you can just get a sword.
Oh, and we have our first sword at 2334, was that?
Close enough.
Yep. That definitely opens up Village of Outcasts for Thieves Town, although again, or sorry, not, that was already open. Skullwoods. There we go. Fun fact, commentating enough of these will actually make your memory go on Randomizer. And Kyle getting disappointed in Ice Rod Cave. Ops to walk. We might be seeing a Lake Hylia Island, Hobo Under the Bridge, and Zora check.
Yeah, Fake Flipper Kyle can do all the Zora stuff with the exception of the ledge.
Yep. And even then, could technically cheese it through if he had a fairy in a bottle.
That's pushing it a bit.
Oh, it's totally pushing it. Don't get me wrong. it's still cheesing it by all means.
Also doesn't have a bottle.
Oh, that's... Wait, he didn't pick it up? He didn't go to Sahashwala because he doesn't have the mirror. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he didn't go to a race game.
Oh, right, that's what it was. That was a dangerously close arrow.
That arrow was in the eye.
Yeah, that arrow was about to give Zelda a new forehead dimple. And there we go. Zunker is getting the hammer.
Oh wait, Kyle does have a bottle.
Okay, so he... Yeah, no, he did go to the race.
Yeah, he did do race game.
I can't remember which one went to the digging game first. I know they've both been to said digging game, though. Alright, and the first chest in. Oh, it's a blue tunic. That's going to be a little more convenient for when you fight blind.
So I'm wondering how kind the seed is going to end up being, because when you first look at it, they don't have, like, I guess they actually are decently equipped for half an hour in.
Yeah, they're decently equipped for half an hour in, but placement is going to be one heck of a wild call on that one. Or wild card, rather. You're not going to be able to necessarily call what's going to be coming up next in this case. You could predict some things, but it's going to end up not being as accurate. Meanwhile, while Zunker's going through all of the chests in the first part of Thieves Town, Kyle is going to see what our favorite swindler has for us today. Oh, it's all... Oof. For $500, you can get a little bit of appreciation from the Zora King.
Hey, at least it was a full heart container.
That is true. At least it was a full heart container. It'd be a bigger slap to the face if that was sank heart.
True enough. And Kyle, looks like Kyle's going to make the Death Mountain play.
Honestly, that is not a bad play to make, although one has to wonder how far he thinks he's going to get without a mirror or without hookshot.
He has hookshot. He fake flipper to hobo to get it.
I missed that at Hobo? Oh my goodness, that is a huge storage. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, no, this mountain play then makes perfect sense. Although, considering that you technically would need the flippers and the logic, this may be a little bit of a, jump in routing, but at the same time, if you had to double dip the mountain, getting all the items ahead of time does make it a lot easier. Ooh, the old man is stingy today.
Well, to be fair, the only thing the flippers are blocking right now is 3 chests.
Yeah, give Zunker.
Alright, so we got Kyle over in Paradox Cave. Zunker's... And just compass, so we are going to see one item on blind, and Kyle's cleared out the mini Moldorms. Let's see what's back here. Couple of big 20s, a triad of big 20s. There's Bombos, and a second.
Not a bad find if either of those is going to be needed. Meanwhile, Blind wants to point out broken pencils are pointless.
But
I do appreciate a good joke.
This is the part of the blind fight where we say, forget taking hits, blue cane.
Yep, sounds pretty accurate.
And all of the lag.
In its beautiful, slow glory. So now that we know that there's a sword over in Death Mountain, that means Zunker, the moment he goes over there, is going to find himself the Master Sword. Did we just see a flute? Did I just see a flute over in Tower of Hera? Or was that over in the Floating Island?
I believe that was Floating Island.
That is it's unfortunate Kyle doesn't have the beer yet. Because that would definitely be the play right now.
It might not end up being required, but when Zunker heads up there, it's obviously going to help him speed things up.
Wait, no, I thought it was, because Swamp Palace is crystal.
The flute?
Oh no, the flute, yes, you're correct. It's technically not required. Sorry, for some reason I kept thinking mirror because I made that comment about mirror. But the main topic was indeed the flute. Meanwhile, no items and no keys for Zunker means that he's gonna have to take the scenic route through Skull Woods.
Oh, always hurts a little bit inside when you have to do that.
It does. But at least you can't get, soft locked.
Yeah, there's a guaranteed key in this chest.
And we're seeing some hammer strats. Haven't seen that in a tournament in a while. It's always nice to see someone using the hammer against those Gyptos. Meanwhile, Trolldorm is afoot. Or a burger snake, technically. There's one hammer, and there's our key, and there's two hammers, and there is three. Trolldorm goes down without too much of a fight. And with a little bit of a lining, we are going to be seeing a bomb jump. Boop. Now that we have the big key, let's see what's over here. Oh, we got the single arrow. Looks like someone's already in the game. Now it seems both of them have a crystal, so we have a crystal on each side, so there goes that crystal lead. However, Zunker is on the way to the second one.
I think we saw both items in Tower of Hera.
I think I did see both items.
And Resident Sleeper Cave. It sucks going through Spiral Cave without the boots.
It really does. I like to equate it as watching the band go down on the Titanic. It's sad. You wish it didn't have to happen, but you're sitting there seeing it happen nonetheless. Zunker just saying, you know what? Give me the slow version of the fast travel. Thank you.
It works.
Oh, it does. Opting to go for the free key.
Now, it already had two keys, so that extra key is not really necessary.
Yeah, it wasn't really that necessary at that point. But oh well. Folks are asking who's in the lead. The answer is yes. Hey, Kyle getting the hookshot trick off for Super Bunny Cave. That's always fun to see.
Yeah, there isn't really an ahead yet because they both have one crystal apiece. Zunker has the mirror that we know is going to come into play, and the ice rod that we aren't sure about yet. While Kyle has the hook shot.
Yeah, both of them have a significantly different direction, and until we know which one is going to be more effective and puts them further ahead, we really can't say. Thus why my answer was yes. And Mothula, the moth that looks like a Moai statue from Easter Island, is getting hit. Fortunately, Zunker does have that green potion, as we are seeing here.
Oh, and in case you missed it, Bombos is required for Turtle Rock.
Oh, plot twist. That might be a sign.
Well, we didn't see a red cane. That would have been a sign.
Oh, that would have been like the obvious sign. This one's the foreshadowing.
And Mothula stole the 10 bombs from Uncle.
Oh, makes perfect sense. Fortunately, Zunker did manage to clutch that one through. And Kyle is opting to go for the Spike Cave. In previous tournaments, that was not necessarily in the logic for the routing. It's glad to see Spike Cave is back. Kyle making it through. And, oh, what are those? We have the boots.
That is a highly inconvenient place for those.
Yeah, of all places, right?
Now, I thought we already counted 2 items over in Skull Woods.
You know, honestly, I thought we did too, but I can't keep track. Wait, no, wait. No, I think... Yeah, there was. He already checked everything else in here. That was literally the last chest he had to check, and I think he forgot the fact that he already pulled out, I believe it was arrows out of the single arrow out of the big chest.
Yeah. So Kyle's got those boots. He's going to check these couple of boot locations real quick.
Absolutely. And Bonk Rock has a bee in a bottle. Praise be to B-Tour. Oh, does not opt to go to King's Tomb. Or did... Oh, wait, no. King's Tomb was already checked right before this. Never mind.
So at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle makes his Skull Woods and Thieves Town plays.
Yeah, that would make sense, considering everything else that he's already accomplished. He has covered more ground at this point than Zunker. Zunker, however, is also taking out a lot more of the painstakingly long overworld sections. Although this one will be a little less painstaking if he went to the mountain and got the boots. But... Oh, and there's the Master Sword. So if Kyle ever checks Cave 45, we're going to see both players have a Tempered Sword. Oh, and he grabbed the lunchbox. It looks like he's going to Gary near the desert. Don't know how he's exactly planning to do anything with that, but, you know, he might find a way. Kyle making quick work out of getting that key and getting out of that room, saying, forget that mess. Very understandably, and oh, the hook shot is so convenient for that corner. Back to the dark world we go, and Zunker is going over to see... Yep, he's going to see Gary. Nope,
Right
just
after...
kidding. He went right around to Hype Cave.
At this point, I'm wondering, where are these flippers?
So the only place we can, or two places we can guarantee they're not going to be at are Swamp Palace and Ice Palace. So at that point, literally anywhere else, which means, or except Eastern Palace, we've already gotten all the items in Eastern Palace. So that means they could be in Desert Palace, they can be in Palace of Darkness, they could be in Mire, they can be in Turtle Rock.
I would hold off on saying they could be in Turtle Rock until we find that red cane.
I mean, that could go for also any other location as well, but you are correct, yes. Until we know the red cane, we can't necessarily guarantee that either Misery Mire or Turtle Rock will have the flippers.
And this could be one of those odd seeds where we don't even need the red cane.
Oh, you're right. That is a possibility. Oh, hey, red mail.
Speaking of red things...
Right? We went from the banana hat to the eggplant hat. Zunker proving to be a hero of many hats.
And even on 9 hearts, you're still probably pretty comfortable with 9 hearts on red mail until Ganon.
Yeah, easily. Is Mirror Ped possible? No, because we already picked up Mirror. Other items that we can guarantee are not on the pedestal include the Red Boomerang, Titan's Mitt, Moon Pearl, Fire Rod, anything else that is currently on the tracker.
As well as Bow and Red Cane.
Yes, correct.
I don't want to say it, but flippers are still a ped possibility.
You're right, they are. That is definitely on the possibility. In fact, it's one of the few items that it could be that would impede this race. Ooh, the dream. What if Pedestal was a fetch quest that led to the flippers? And by the dream, I mean realistically any racer's nightmare.
Oh yeah, I've personally had that mushroom on ped.
Oh.
And that just weighs on your mind until you enter Ganon's tower.
Ooh. That is rough. At this point, I don't see anything that we need for Ganon's tower being locked by the flippers. So there's no chance of us double dipping Ganon's tower for the flippers. Oh, flippers are actually needed for the crystals, so you'd have to have them for Ganon's tower anyways. Never mind.
Yeah.
Silver arrows on Bumper Cave. So, we may be seeing people go for that if they want to try to chance the quick kill, or they might say, you know what, forget it, let's go silverless. Oh, actually, that does depend entirely on if they find the cape.
Yeah, that's true. So, I was thinking that Zunker probably won't see the boots, but if he's up here on Death Mountain, it actually doesn't have oh wait, it does have progression. It has the flute, and Zunker can get it.
Oh, you're right. You don't need a hook shot to get to that floating island. So yeah, you are correct. In the meantime, I'm starting to immediately sense a little bit of deja vu. Seems like we've been here before.
I know, right?
This is interesting, though, because it really does come down to, are we going to need the boots? Is Desert Palace boot locked? Is Zunker going to later on have to go on a magical quest to figure out where in the heck the boots are? On the other hand, Silly Kyle. Is he ever going to find the mirror? We know the mirror is absolutely necessary, but is he going to go to Sahasrara and check that?
What would hurt Silly Kyle is if, through the roundabout way of the flute, that the bow ends up being mirror locked.
If the bow is mirror locked, yeah, that would be massive.
So
Coincidentally, what would also ultimately hurt Zunker in a way that would be devastating to anyone, not finding the boots, and as someone mentioned in chat, not Desert Palace, but the Ganon Tower big key being on Torch.
Well, with Zunker, we'll know pretty quick if he's going to leave those boots behind.
Considering that a lot of people tend to skip over Spike Cave, it is possible. Because everyone's more excited to go first over onto the rest of Death Mountain.
And also, we're 47 minutes in, and we still haven't seen those flippers. So some of those flipper locations, like Hobo, might end up slipping Zunker's mind by the time he gets it.
What's worse is we also don't have a way to check any of the tablets, and we don't have a way to check the Master Pedestal, or Master Sword Pedestal, so we can't even guarantee that they're not there. Kyle making really quick work through those dragons, saying, I could fight you, but I have better things to do.
Yeah, fighting those horse heads with plastic sword. I think it's 2 hits on the blue ones, and they're the weaker of the 2.
Yep, and it's like 4 if you go to the red ones. It's a lot easier at that point to hammer them.
And Zunker just saw that flute.
He did indeed, so he's going to have the flute first. Meanwhile, Kyle does have the boots. Right now, Kyle has almost the ability to go to Desert Palace and clear that. Kyle will now have the ability to clear Desert Palace.
You mean Zunker?
Yes, Zunker will have the ability to clear Desert Palace. Glenn can words and names today.
It is nearly 1 a.m. here.
It is real rando hours. Who up? Smash that follow button. Since we're covering previously treaded areas, might I also mention, speaking of follows, make sure you go and give Speed Gaming 1 through 7 all of the support that they can, or that you can give, even if it is just a simple follow. Remember, follows are free. Also, make sure to go and give the runners a follow, because they're giving you one heck of a race, especially with a seed that has been so far rather dry and eluding.
The items are just enough spread out to allow a decent routing divergence.
That is true. Oh, I'm sorry. I totally there's now an 8? Nutty.
Speed Gaming 1 through 6 are currently active.
So, Speed Gaming 1 through 8, and also make sure you also check out ALTTP Randomizer, or Randomizer, 1 through 7, 8, 50,000?
ALTTP randomizer, no number, 2, 3, and 4.
Yes. We've officially accomplished speed gaming the Ocho. As I'm seeing in chat. Very good reference.
Only 1 through 6 are being used right now.
I see.
So Zunker going ahead and opening the Turtle Rock tile. He's going to see he can go ahead and open the front.
Zunker, unfortunately, not able. Oh, wait. Sorry, it was mislabeled on the tracker. He can indeed. You are correct.
Yep, that was in Super Bunny Cave.
Ah, yes, it was. You're correct. I totally forgot about that.
Is this our first Agena cave check?
I think so, actually. I don't remember Zunker heading to desert at all. Kyle is really fiending for that mirror at this point. Zunker, in the meantime, is just going, I need a musical instrument. Doodle-doo-doodle-doo. Although it doesn't seem entirely familiar. Oh, nope, he's got it. I was going to say entirely familiar with the pattern on the floor, but nope, picked it up. A little bit of frustration slashes.
Yeah, Zunker has only been playing Rando since February this year.
Oh, wow. That is not a lot of time. Good for them. Being 2-2 already? That is good.
Yeah, we have decent players all over the bracket, and even some of the newer players have surprised us.
You gotta love it when new faces come out of the woodwork, and there we have it. We have the mirror for Silly Kyle.
Zunker hasn't immediately saved and quit yet, so we are going to see a Spike Cave check, it looks like.
Oh, good on Zunker for remembering that.
So this will mean that Kyle's only advantages are the lamp and the hook shot.
Yeah, actually, you're right. They're the only two. Hookshot being very important for at least one dungeon. Being one flipper away from being able to clear Swamp Palace. Meanwhile, Zunker is still at that point 2 items away. And now, Zunker has the ability to go faster than a snail's pace.
So I imagine this immediate go to Kakariko, or I could be wrong. Oh, he can check Boot's locations up too then.
Yep. He's going to be loaded with all sorts of different flavors of disappointed.
And considering he had the mirror, I believe he's already checked Graveyard Ledge, so he has no reason to hit the Dark World portal, come back, and do all these. He can just do them all and finish the area.
Meanwhile, Kyle opening up Turtle Rock at this point, just in case they have to go for the inevitable dip in.
And luckily, both runners remembering that they don't have Red Cane, so going in there right now would
be useless.
Yes.
In the meantime, Kyle is going for the flute, while Zunker is covering the areas he could not previously cover. At this point, it is literally a moment of inspiration away before either of them realizes I can go and clear Desert Palace. Technically, they could clear Ice Palace.
If we want to get into Fake Flipper.
Well, everyone all rise for the Swag Duck National Anthem. And the goose is loose, also known as the duck is unstuck.
The fowl is on the prowl.
Ooh, I like it.
And Zunker looks like he's taking a moment to figure out.
He's admiring the beauty of the craftsmanship of the statue. No one rushes anyone appreciating true art, you see.
So you mentioned Desert Palace. There's 2 items in desert.
Oh, there we are. Enough appreciation of the art of that statue. Sorry, I was quiet to make sure he had enough concentration. Didn't mean to cut you off, though. Do go ahead.
All right. So Mire area here, we've got 2 items in Desert Palace. We've got 2 items in the Mire Shed. We've got the Checkerboard Cave. And Zunker hasn't checked the Graveyard Ledge.
Well, we can confirm he did now.
So this is a 5 to 6 item play, depending on if they go for Agina's Cave.
And Bombo's confirmed for both dungeons that require a medallion.
And thank you, Estivu, for the Twitch Prime sub.
Absolutely. Always appreciate it.
So we got a Bombos Mire. So this is a 1 medallion seed.
That could spell all sorts of levels of disaster. And by all sorts of levels, I mean this could lead ultimately to finding out you need to go into both. Fortunately, this also has the chance of being a seed where they just troll us and suggest it as a way to lure you into a little bit of insecurity.
Well, I think right now you'd go desert first, because you don't even have the red cane to finish Mire if an item's on Vitreous.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100% agreeing with you. And we're going to find out, was this boot locked after all? And it was. Surprise.
And we find out Zunker just narrowly avoided disaster.
Literal high five. Ooh, we got a 5 rupee in there.
So that means the small key's in the big chest.
You are correct indeed. Also, this is why we never tell anyone who's in the lead, because there's points where everyone converges just like this.
Now, I would say Kyle has a slight advantage with the lamp hook shot and has Hookshot Cave cleared out. So Kyle's got a little bit more overworld cleared.
Yep, that is true. Zunker is either going to be making up for lost time going to those places or going to be taking many gambles, hopefully remembering to not take gambles on certain places, such as the area for the hookshot. Oh my goodness, there are the flippers in desert. Because of course they would be. Also, obligatory water those. That's spelled W-A-T-E-R, thank you.
I thought it was water toes.
Oh, water toes is also very good. I like that. And I think at this point it's safe to say Ped is dead. There is really no chance of the pedestal holding anything of value.
You would be correct. In fact, we're just looking for the bow now.
Yeah, we are literally in bow mode. Well, Silly Kyle's in bow mode.
And the last item that these runners want to see is red cane.
Oh, yeah. That would definitely be the bane of their existence. And here we have fire rod strats for as long as they have. Zunker having a slight advantage in sword, however, Silly Kyle did have fire rod shots to throw into one landmo.
These landmo are not cooperating right now.
And they're also not too fun to fight with just a sword.
They're not too fun to fight below a tempered sword. Tempered sword he can make work, kind of.
And there you have it, the sword advantage giving Zunker just a couple of moments more than Silly Kyle.
So I think the question right now is, do you dip Mire?
No, because you have other places you can go. Kyle has swamp, has ice available to him right now. Zunker has at least ice available. And what do you know? I understand your logic, though, because it's entirely possible that if there are items in there, you're going to want to dip into there to make sure you have them. But considering everything else, right now, being able to continue on before you need to go on the search for the bow for the required Eastern Palace, which at this point technically isn't required, but considering, you know, fighting Armos Knights without a bow is the equivalent of watching paint dry at half speed, you definitely want to go for it.
And Zunker's getting that hook shot.
And there we are. Zunker is confirmed for bow mode. That is BOW mode. And Swag Duck to the rescue once again.
We're seeing a bit of divergence here. Kyle and Ice, and Zunker looks to be going for Swamp.
Swamp is a good play. Swamp is technically in the logic. It is technically right there. Having all the items you need for it, even if you wanted to full clear it or go mode it, it is now available as one more thing you can get taken out of the way. And if the bow is in there, that could be an entirely linear process, and then he would be in go mode.
I just realized one final trick this C could have up its sleeve. So we're in bow mode to get all the crystals.
You're right.
What if the big key for Ganon's tower is on the right side?
Why would you need... Oh, no. Wait. Yep, nope, yep, you're right. Because if you need red cane for the right side, and they don't have red cane... Ooh, that would be a plot twist.
At least it can't be on Ped.
Yeah, that's true.
So Kyle's got the bomb jump.
And now every moment they open a chest is me waiting with bated breath to see when they're going to find the bow, because it's going to happen. Hopefully in either of these dungeons.
Honestly, I like the full clear of ice more than I like the full clear of a swamp. Just because ice, if you know the route, you can get it pretty clean.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Swamp,
out of the two of them, is the more tedious of the two.
No one likes left side swamp.
That's a good point. No one likes left side swamp. Left Side Swamp is definitely that one person that got picked last for everything. Shoutouts to other people that also got picked last for everything.
One other thing to note, though, these are the last 2 crystal dungeons that our runners haven't dipped into.
Yep.
So if neither one finds the bow, I don't think there's much overworld left to check. We might be dipping pendants.
We might be dipping pendants indeed. Chances are we're going to have to at least dip into Mire. Judging how we're not finding anything right now. Zunker skipping left side because reasons. However, in his defense, there has been times where Bo has popped up in one of the 2 chests that are on the way, or one of the 2 chests of the remaining 3 before Argus. The one not hidden by a weird, obscure block puzzle. Well, looks like someone got a little bit of a seasoning salt.
That's a nice little extra safety.
Yep. Kyle going the long way around. And we have the big key. Does he go back for it, is the question.
He'll probably clear Argus first, and if there's an item left, go ahead and come back.
Oof. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how that plays out.
There's a swagnet.
Indeed, we do have Swagnet confirmed.
Also, Zunker has found all of the arrow upgrades. He's sitting at 70 arrows.
My goodness. And now let's go, Argus fight.
One other thing for Zunker is he didn't go left side yet, so he'll probably check the big chest when he goes back in for left side.
Oh, you know, that's not a bad call, actually, because that way you at least have 3 chests on the way, instead of going out of your way for 3 chests that might not have anything.
Also, that means if you didn't find the big key, like if you went left side first and didn't find the big key, that means it'd be downstairs and you'd have to fight the stairwell boss.
Oh, stairwell boss is worst boss.
Yeah, where you pick up the 2 chests, you go up that stairwell, it has a tendency to not register properly and just send you straight back down.
Yep, I remember that bug. I still don't know how it's not fixed, but I also don't code, so, you know, I wouldn't know in the first place.
And Colts are just a heart container.
Oof. That is one more item down. If I'm not mistaken, he has not picked up all 3 dungeon items in Swamp Palace. Meanwhile, Silly Kyle, if I'm correct, full cleared Ice Palace. I keep feeling like he could have missed the 1 chest behind that foot switch. But I don't know.
And Kyle also has the Pyramid Fairy open now.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that could be a play. We did forget about mentioning Pyramid Fairy until this point.
So Desert and Ice, the 5-6 crystals. Kyle's going to not go and grab the big bomb yet. Kyle's going to make the play in the swamp.
Oh, okay. Okay, that is reasonable. I can see the logic behind that, although I definitely at this point would have gone to the pyramid. Because that way you get that out of the way, then do swamp, and then you run out of ideas. Especially since your flying point when you land is already there. So you have the quicker route to get to the not teleportation spot. You know what I mean, though. The tile.
There's one other thing. Now that Kyle has the powder, he can check the magic bat.
Oh, that's right. The bat, historically, unless I'm mistaken, has a 0.2 chance of holding an item of any form of importance.
I have confirmation bias on that, though.
See, the thing is, I've also had items pop up at the magic bat, including the bow. So I can't rule that out myself.
And the other thing about the swamp play is, it's a crystal, you gotta do it anyway, so at least you're making forward progress.
That is true. Zunker confirming there was nothing left of value after fighting Argus.
So if we don't see anything from the Pyramid Fairy or the Bat, it's going to be time to dip either Palace of Darkness or Misery Mire.
That's true. But wait, everyone. The bow was really all the friends we made along the way. No, the bow's somewhere out there. We're gonna find it. At this point, yeah, between those three become being Pyramid Fairy's 2 chests, as well as Magic Bat, there isn't a whole lot of places they can check that are left. Outside of Pendant Dungeons.
Now, one of the most obnoxious things the Sea could do right now would be, there's nothing in those locations, and either Palace of Darkness or Misery Mire coughs up the Red King. Now, one other nice thing for these runners is that since Palace of Darkness is the green pendant, we know the bow cannot be on the green pendant.
Yes, we know bow can't be behind Eastern Palace Armos Knights. It can't be behind the green pendant. It can be anywhere before Vitreous. It could be on Vitreous, technically. It could be in Turtle Rock.
It could be on Trinex.
One of the only places that it couldn't technically be would be Mimic Cave. I think.
Why can't it be on Mimic Cave?
I didn't know if that was canonically supposed to be logically bow-locked because of the mimics in there, even though I know you can still attack the mimics with anything as weak as a Master Sword. No, I think my original thought on that was wrong. Only red mimics. Okay, yeah. Even in chat, only red mimics are bow locking. Never mind.
Zunker's having a bit of problem with this bomb jump.
Ooh. As someone that often spaghettis getting to that pixel on the ledge before landing it, just like that, I can empathize. That is never a fun thing to experience. I gotta imagine by now, both our runners have to be feeling considerable amount of pressure, considering that they have no idea where this bow is.
No idea where the bow is, and 6 crystals down. Or soon to be 6 crystals down.
And a majority of all the places they can checked. Cave 45, as we know, had one of the swords. So if Kyle goes in there, he'll finally have the Tempered Sword. That's where Zunker found his first sword.
Yeah, and I believe silvers were on Bumper Ledge, right?
They were indeed.
And Stair Boss claims another victim on Silly Kyle's side.
Oh, Stair Boss beats everyone again.
Because I have to imagine Kyle would not be thrilled walking into a Ganon fight on Master Sword Silverless.
Oof. Yeah. I don't know many people who would be excited for that. And we now see the swag net for Kyle and the magic seasoning for Zunker.
I think Zunker was counting items.
Yep, I think he was indeed. He in fact also double checked to make sure he didn't have the big key so he didn't skip over the big chest. And he is going... Oh no, he is... Is he going... Nope, he's going to full clear. He was debating it. You could tell by the way he walked. Never mind, I'm not going to make that outdated music reference. You can tell by the way he transitioned through the screens. He was really debating on saying, I could just go and fight Cold Stare, which, as we know, is the current play. Oh, okay.
This is
this is a tactic that is technically possible, as seen here, but not commonly seen.
Honestly, with the explosion time and the setup time, I'm not sure that's really, if it's even faster than just dashing through the room.
If you're not used to dashing through the room, it's definitely worth the investment. But you're right. If you know how to dash through that room, there's not that much of a difference. Or at least, at most, it would be negligible. Meanwhile, Kyle, taking down Swamp Palace, realizing it's now time to go to the ferry in the pyramid to see if we can have the extra thickest of gifts known as the bow. There's the bomb purchase. Zunker finding a whole lot of nothing over in the big chest.
Now, Zunker's probably going to have an easier Cold Stare fight just because of that Tempered Sword.
Yeah, in general, the Tempered Sword is going to make sure... the Tempered Sword is going to make that a little easier for sure. There we go, I can words.
And Red Mail's saving quite a bit of damage because Cold Stare usually hurts.
Oh, Cold Stare really hurts if you don't have Red Mail. And here we are. That's a heart piece. Oh, and it's red rupees. Oh, no. The Pyramid Fairy was a ruse all along.
We still got Magic Bat.
We still have Magic Bat. We still have the Ether and Bombos tablets.
But we need a book for that.
You're correct. We could still find the book, though, technically. And I say technically in a very loose, I know that's very unlikely terms of technically.
Now, Zunker, remembering that he hasn't checked the Zora area yet.
Yep. And also not realizing that he keeps the exact movement direction he moves as he enters the teleportation.
Yes, swimming in this game.
It sure is.
Yeah, spaghetti.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, Zunker Getting a little disappointed at that point. Admittedly, it's a little frustrating. Silly Kyle picking up the carrot sword. Eat your vegetables, kids. For those playing the home game, right now, Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace are bow locked. Misery Mire and Turtle Rock are both technically Red Cane locked, Cane of Samaria locked to be specific, in the event that you need to full clear them. Or at least, 1, go through Turtle Rock, and 2, defeat I almost said Argus and Cold Stare, but it's Vitreous. And here we are.
This is
no, Batman. And survey says, oh, it is time for a pendant dump. Pendant dive. Wow, me and words.
And Zunker's going back to check the overworld that he, the hookshot cave they missed earlier for not having hookshot.
And here's where Kyle immediately goes into Dark World. Chat having a little bit of a laugh at my stumbling of words there.
So now that we're getting into the pendant dive portion of this, you have 2 choices. Which way do you go?
Misery Mire. You can clear more. Yeah, Misery Mire. You can clear the most. There's a chance that you are key locked out by the bow.
Yeah, but then you can make sure you mark Pod off of your list.
Mm. That is true. That is true.
Pod potentially has more items. Not Swamp. Mire is only 2.
Again, also very true. But we have to remember that Pod is infamously known by our friend Dr. Bobtastic as the Mullet Mansion. It is very business-centric in the front and more of a party in the back. You're more likely to get keys than items of any use in the front of Palace of Darkness versus the back of it. That is said, however, as someone who picked up the fire rod in the front of Palace of Darkness in one of his races recently. So it technically could also be a possibility in Pod that I cannot deny.
And then again, I've also went to Pendant Swamp over Crystal, Pod, and Eastern, figuring the fewest amount of items you can get between Pod and Eastern is 3 if you get locked early.
Gotcha. Meanwhile, Kyle making sure to throw some money to everyone's favorite Hyrulean extortionist and the worst delivery service, Kiki the Monkey.
So, if you're Kyle, I don't know if you want to get locked out of here early or not, actually.
Honestly, this just really saves you the time of a cutscene. And once again, we are locked out of Pod early. Much like finding all of the dungeon items first, what is the upside to that? That's right, already knowing that you have all the dungeon items. In this case, he at least knows he's out of options until he has bow. So in this case, yeah, Mire may be the actual play, like I thought it could be.
Since Kyle hadn't made his way over to Eastern at all, though, his play makes a lot more sense because it's more items than Mire, and if you get lucky, hey, you're here.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the chance, even with Gambler's Fallacy, that it is indeed more likely to have something. But as someone that's been constantly XYZ item locked out of something, I just don't even take the chance anymore. and then it always bites me in the end when I avoid it and then the items in that area.
Well, Zunker's got his lamp, so if Bo ends up being on Vitreous, he won't have to navigate dark rooms.
Which is never a bad thing. Out of all the dark rooms, Misery Mire tends to get the most flack. Silly Kyle using the sword beams to kill the other skeleton. I'm literally losing the name of the terminology because I just realized you could do that. I always just walked over for the pop, but that is a nice 1 or 2 second extra amount of time to use more efficiently elsewhere.
You know what else is good to kill those skeletons with?
Fire Rod?
Bow.
Oh, well played. Well played. And Kyle goes right over to Misery Mire.
Zunker stalking up.
Just because it seems like that kind of seed, I'm going to take a blind guess and guess that we're going to have the God Mire. The first chest is going to have the big key. The second one will have the bow. Actually, you know what? I take that back. The fourth chest will have the bow because you have to have a little bit of suspense.
No. I think the first chest is going to have the big key. The big chest, we're going to have a completely vanilla Cane of Samaria.
Oh.
And Vitreous is going to have the second item, and it's going to be junk.
Oh, that would hurt. But that'd be fun to watch.
Hey.
How early did they get the lamp? They ended up getting the lamp. Kyle got it very early on because he had checked the pyramid first, and then Zunker just got it. As for Fire Rod, that was, I believe, roughly around the same time. Maybe about a 10-minute difference.
We're 2 chests down in Mire, and
neither of them were what I predicted. So let's see what happens. We got 2 small keys and a microphone. And we're going to immediately clear 2 of the chests available to us. Zunker getting the piece of heart in the back of the cave behind the graves, and there's the big key.
oh, he's not going right side, he's going left side.
Ah, I see. General McFist having a good call. They predict the bow in its location. Genius. Galaxy brain.
Well, there's one item, so we know Vitreous is not going to hold anything.
Correct. Or if he does, it'll be inconsequential.
Well, we have to have either the bow or the red cane in here. I think this is the last location they've got left.
No, they still have one more chest. They didn't check the chest over on the right side. That's also locked by the blue switch.
Oh, no, I meant Mire's the last place they can get items.
Oh, you have a good point. Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh, no. And here we go. Do you go for Misery Mire's pendant, or do you say nope? Yep, and there we go. Kyle immediately nopes right out of there, and it's time for us to go down to Turtle Rock. Down to Turtle Rock.
And that was the moment that Silly Kyle realized his bow is in another dungeon.
Ooh. And for all those mentioning in the chat, yes, that's gotta be something only Ryu makes funny. But that does mean we have the cane. Zunker, I guess maybe thinking that they didn't have everything necessary for the silver arrow. Oh no, they never checked where or what was on the bumper cave. My mistake. And now they're taking a chance in the Palace of Darkness. They're going to be very disappointed quickly. As we now know, we have a required Misery Mire and Turtle Rock dive.
Yeah, this in the end, it ended up funneling both our runners into the same spot. So now we actually have a pretty clear idea who's ahead.
Yeah, at this point right now, Kyle has a significant lead, just out of knowledge alone. However, both of them are still very much between a rock and a hard place.
A turtle rock in a hard place.
Ooh. You know what? I'll go for it. I'll go for it. And since we're going with bad jokes, let me tell you, that one was one shell of a joke. I told you we were going for bad jokes. Not even apologizing. Meanwhile, Silly Kyle getting not much value in the first chest, and with the fire rod, oh, Zunker getting the big key lock. The one time you're not happy to see the big key.
Also, something else to realize about what's going on here. We still have 3 fetch quests.
Oh, are we going to have the one and only triple fetch quest? That would be fantastic to see.
Hey, it'd give time for Zunker to catch back up, and that'd be evil.
That would be pretty intense.
Or if they find all 3 fetch quest items here, which one do you go for?
Yes, is the answer. Probably the first one that you have. Actually, in this case, no. I'd say that's location-based. The easiest to access. So right off the bat, that would lead me towards the mushroom.
Ether.
Oh, you're right, Ether. If they have the book, you're right, yeah. Now we have Kyle heading through. Oh.
Those shots ended up working out.
Yeah, they actually did. I was going to comment about how that didn't work so well, but then we saw that actually did. So, hey. And we have the obligatory key to continue on after this certain area. Question of the day is he going to forget about Mimic Cave? Chances are no, probably not, because when you're running like this, your immediate thought is to cover as many places as possible while continuing on, especially since the more you check means the less you have to come back for later, and no one wants to have to come back to a pendant dungeon that's not required.
Yeah, but I've also commentated a race that was lost because a runner forgot Mimic Cave, and it had progression.
Oh no.
In fact, I think it was the bow.
Oh, that's rough. Well, Kyle not making that mistake. We are going to see what's inside a Mimic Cave. And we're seeing the pull tactic. Very quick work out of that Mimic Cave, all things considered. Oh, it's a bomb upgrade.
We're still on the hunt for that bow. So I believe this means that the roller room chest is going to be another small key, and we're taking this to Laser Bridge.
Yeah, it's likely going to be Laser Bridge at this point. Well, no, it's possible that there's an item here. And there was.
We're still taking this to Laser Bridge.
Yep, exactly. You were still right. Zunker going to be disappointed by going into the compass room, or maybe not disappointed. That's always nice to see. While it's not always what you're looking for, it is always a bonus. For those keeping track, I do believe there's at least one item left, possibly two, if I counted correctly, for Silly Kyle. Oh my god!
First chest.
There it is, everybody. Confirmed, we have the bow. Silly Kyle is in go mode.
This is definitely making him work for it, though.
Oh yeah, no, it was right there. That was the rudest. Well, it could have been less. It could have been more rude. Oh, Zunker not being happy about finding that cane. And for very good reason, all things considered.
Yeah, you said the sea could have been more rude. We could have solved fetch quests. So at least we didn't put him through that.
Oh, we could have saw fetch quests ending with the book, and then it's whichever pendant or whichever tablet they didn't pick first. That would be the rudest. Meanwhile, Kyle making quick work of places already treaded.
Yeah, we got to see every crystal dungeon full cleared today.
Yeah, we did. That's not very common.
So hopefully both these runners are comfortable with Silverless, because I doubt we're going to see Cape at this point.
Yeah, Cape is likely hidden behind Trinex at this point, maybe. I mean, we do have 3 other chests that are on Laser Bridge, so they could be in those, in 2 of the 3. But let's be real. It won't matter anyways. I'm pretty sure at this point, considering that Kyle's already going into Eastern Palace, that he is confident in doing Silverless. Arrow count, nice. And with all that internet memory out of the way, we're now seeing a pretty decently quick kill on the Armos Knights. And there you have it. Eastern Palace Burrito confirmed. Yup. And that does mean it is now about time where we mention in the community that we have a little game that we like to play. There are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower in the basement area that could have the big key. And our runners are going to have to guess, or in this case, our runner is going to have to guess between, out of all of these, where it could be. At home, if you are interested and you've either subscribed, donated, or given 100 or no 250 bits to speed gaming channels, you can actually guess. And if you are the first person to get the right guess, you will go on the leaderboard. If you haven't, it's okay. You can play the honor system and just, take the guess anyways, and it still won't go on the leaderboard, but you might still get it right. Not everyone needs a leaderboard. For me personally, I'm going to be guessing number 14. We're going on Bob's chest.
I'm thinking 5, but I'm thinking a very specific 5.
Okay. I like it.
I'm thinking we're going to see a small key on those first 2 chests on the right side, continue to the right side, and see it over there.
I like it. That specific thing is a bit sassy. I like it.
And thanks, Macronasso, for the bits.
And there we have it. If you haven't gotten your guesses in now, I highly suggest, you don't start guessing at this moment, because by the time I said this, I'll already have hit the stop command. Well, I haven't hit it just yet. It's going to be when Kyle enters and the screen transitions. And kabam. Meanwhile, Kyle running off right off the bat to the right side, getting those first 2 chests because everyone likes an easy mode. And unfortunately, we saw 2 keys, but they weren't the keys that we were looking for. However, Kyle is deciding to go to the right side, figuring what are the odds. The answer is about 3 out of 22. 4 out of 22, I apologize.
At this point, it's 4 out of 20.
That's true. That is 4 out of 20, isn't it?
And Zunker's coming up on Mimic Cave, so he'll be getting his bow before too long.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to take quite a bit for him to catch up to Kyle, if that is a possibility. And we're on 5 and number 6. Lo and behold, we are going to the left side. Seems like Kyle's going to have to blaze a trail on through the right side. And there's number 6. We have Bob's torch. Rip Bob. We're going to have his chest in memoriam if we get that far. Wait, no, that was 7, wasn't it? Yeah, that was 7.
Yeah, that was 7.
And now we're having 8. Ooh, not there, but he did get a heart refill. Number 9, a little less, but still not bad. And number 10's a big 20. And we got 3 bombs for number 11. Oof.
I just noticed, they found every bomb upgrade. The only one they didn't pick up was at the dam.
Oh, wow, yeah, you're right.
Ganon, quit hogging all the hearts, man. So I believe we're coming up on chest 13.
I thought that was 12. Nope, I think it was 13. Either way, it's still the shovel. I think this is 13, 14, 15, and 16.
I think it's 13, 14, 15, 16. Bob's chest is 17. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to have to recount this. We've got 5 chests left.
Okay, so we're at 17 right now. And next one's going to be 18, Bob's chest.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're back on track.
During real rando hours, counting can sometimes be a little difficult. Ooh, Kyle not being able to pull off the bonk, but that's okay, he picks up some arrows in the process. This might come down to tile room.
I was thinking it, I wasn't going to say it.
Oh, I'll say it. And we got Bob's chest. Let's see if I had any semblance of accuracy today. Survey says, nope. Not even close.
So Ganon had all the hearts and all the money.
So far, yeah.
And Kyle currently experiencing the lag that is an ice room.
Oh, ice rooms. How I wish I never met thee. And now we're coming up on 19. And now number 20. 21! Oh, ho, 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 ho. So
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tile room.
We have a tile room. That is... Whew. You gotta feel for any runner that has to deal with a tile room. So make sure you get comfy. Make sure you have your popcorn. If you have some soda or some tea, go for it. In the meantime, we're gonna take this time to say, if you've been enjoying this, make sure to give the Speed Gaming channels 1 through, I think currently there's 8, but right now 1 through 6 are being used. Also, ALTTP random, is it Rando still? ALTTP Rando?
Randomizer.
It's Randomizer. Wow, I keep messing that up. Unnumbered, 2, 3, and 4. We also want to say, make sure you go and give some love to your runners. They've been busting their butts to make sure you had an entertaining time to watch. Also, shoutouts to our restreamer, as well as our... Well, and there it is. Big key in number 22. I was looking up the commands in the process. I hope I got that right. No, I didn't. Do you remember that command? Can you do me that favor? Ah, Spleeby got it. Shoutouts to Spleeby for the restream.
I thought Spleeby was our tracker.
Spleeby is our tracker. Restream is going through Speed Gaming, so shoutouts to Fiesel. Glenn can just not focus on anything, apparently.
Hey, over on the East Coast, we're going on 2 a.m. right now.
And even less sleep. Oof.
And congrats to Darak Sharna, our closest guest as a supporter of Speed Gaming at 21.
Nice. Shoutouts to all of the supporters of Speed Gaming not guessing 22 and jinxing our runners. Too bad it still happened. But nonetheless, GG and congrats on that one.
Hey, it means our night crowd is more runner friendly.
Optimistic? I'll go for it. In the meantime, Kyle is ascending the tower.
So both of our runners know where silvers are. They know they're not going to get those.
Yep, so we're going to be seeing Silverless Ganon done with a Tempered Sword. Admittedly, a lot smoother than doing that with a Master Sword.
Do you think they'll check any chests on the way up to maybe try to find that butter?
If they are feeling that worried about it, maybe. But for the most part, if you're confident in finding or taking care of Ganon with Tempered, you don't really need to worry about gold, and at that point, gold just becomes a luxury.
Yeah, it only helps in the first 2 phases.
Yep, because after that, it's the same amount of damage.
Oh, Silvers were on the Bumper Cave ledge, and we still don't know where the cape is.
Yeah, actually, you're right. We don't know where the cape is. What if cape's invalidation?
My money's still on Turtle Rock, but we'll probably never know.
Yeah, true. At this point, we're probably never going to find out. Cape is where? That's a great question. We may never know. Kyle playing it safe with the magic he has, not going for the fire rod strats. Also taking the dive to take less time to go to the far torch.
Also, where is half magic?
I'd like to repeat, the world may never know. You know what? I bet all of that's in pod. I bet butter, the corpse, or the corpse, the cape, butter, the cape, etc. in pod.
Yeah, and all this time I forgot, pod is still a dungeon.
It is.
And one more thing, that I just forgot, so never mind. I just remembered. Both, I believe both runners made a stop to buy blue potions.
I definitely remember seeing that on at least Zunker's side, and I do think I saw Kyle do that as well.
Zunker's going through Ganon's treasure trove, and Kyle getting a triple on Aghanim.
Gotta love when you get the triple. Oh, getting the salty single.
Yeah, I think that blue ball had quite a bit to do with that.
Oh, absolutely.
One more hit'll do it. That's a really good Aga. The patterns weren't just free patterns, but he made good use of them.
Yeah, it really does come down to a question of geometry at that point. And according to how many times that took, it apparently looked like a triple, but was only a double, because that was 21021. Ganon, an advocate of being fat at night, suggesting pro-midnight snack attitude. News at 11.
Think you remember your midnight snack for the race?
Actually, I didn't. I just had tea.
Nothing wrong with a good glass of tea.
Very true. Oh, and are we seeing... Oh... Kyle doing the dash strats?
Here you go.
Decides
Gave
to
Ganon
go
a
against
hug,
it.
though.
Ooh, he did. It was not necessarily worth, but it was entertaining to see him still continue on for it.
That bow will not do you any good here.
Ooh, sorry, not Kyle. Zunker almost getting caught by that wall master, technically ceiling master. Did you find the arrows in the spot in the dark world that you can't access yet? Why, yes, I did.
Doesn't help now, though.
Nope, it doesn't. And there we go. We already got two spin slashes off from Ganon. And there's number 3. And number 4. Kyle's showing a lot of progress, or not a lot of progress, a lot of proof in prowess of being able to get spin slashes off. We're currently on number 5. And number 6? Nope, not yet, almost. And there's number 6. Sometimes the angle you get can entirely make or break how quickly you can hit him. Because sometimes you want to stay your distance, especially when you're, in this case, at low health. Because even with red mail, Ganon hugs will do a significant amount of damage, and I do believe that number is 4.
I do believe you're right. Honestly, I would not be against just popping one of those blue potions if Kyle does indeed have to, just to ensure that he doesn't die.
Yep. Oh, never mind. It looks like we don't have to worry about that at all. And with 4 hearts to spare, no half magic, and a ridiculous seed, Silly Kyle takes down the big pig with the carrot sword and locks in his race time at an official speed racing time of 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 40 seconds. GG to Kyle. That was one heck of a seed. Oh, and Zunker got grabbed. Little does he know, he just has to go to the tile room and not get caught. Oh, wow. And now let's see if Kyle's ready. Yep, looks like Kyle is ready. So I'm gonna bring in Kyle. And live on the air through the magic of the internet, we have Silly Kyle. Kyle, GG. And how are you feeling after that seed?
Thank you so much. Wow, that was a pretty trolly seed, if I had to say so myself.
That was, yeah, like, pace us through your thoughts on that one, because that was a roller coaster for us to watch.
Well, let's just say I was a bit tilted from the beginning when I was on my way to Hype Cave and I got wrecked by the monsters there. My cat jumped on my desk in front of the screen and I was just a little bit tilted. And then after I saved and quit and turned in the dude, I went and checked and I got the potion from the race game and it gave me hammer and I was like, well, this isn't as bad as it could be. So I went back and checked Hype Cave. But yeah, it was a hunt for the bow, which felt like for half an hour, just checking every last spot, trying to find it.
Yeah, easily. We were sitting here hypothesizing all the possible places, and it just ended up coming down to wondering where it was going to be. Was it going to be in Mire? Was it going to end up being right at the end of Mire? Turns out it pretty much was. It was in the worst possible place in Mire that wasn't on Vitreous.
Yeah, when I went to Misery Mire, I was like, please don't find Cain, please don't find Cain. And then the second item was Cain, and I was like, oh, I have to go up to Turtle Rock now. God, I hope it's not on the boss. That'd be the worst case.
Oh, as someone who's experienced hookshot over there, yeah, that is the worst.
Hey, just remember, it could have been worse. We still don't know where the mushroom or the book is.
Oh yeah, we were hypothesizing all the possibilities, and one of the worst ones we could come up with was ending up finding every fetch quest item, which then led you to the book, which led you to both tablets, and then the bow being on the one tablet you didn't choose first.
Yeah, thank God I didn't have to find the book, because that would have been terrible, or mushroom.
Yeah, I was gonna say, seeing the red cane was scary enough, but oh, if that book came up, oof.
Yeah, and you know, it was pretty exciting to find that hookshot, a hobo with the fake flipper, and I just felt like it set me on this long path, just doing everything in my way, and it was just it was an interesting seed. I was hoping to find that bow in Swamp or Ice Palace, 'cause I full cleared both of them.
Yeah. It's the one blessing and curse about finding a progression item in place that you've already skipped over some logic in. Because then you go, okay, well, I have this, and now I got to recalibrate everything because you're in the middle of a race. And then the next thing you know, it's just like you feel like you've taken extra steps and you're not sure why. And sometimes it's not even because of the item you found.
Yeah, I had this feeling, like, I put off Eastern Palace and Pod for so long, and I was like, if Bow is there, then I might lose the race. And thankfully I was Bow locked when I went to Pod, and I got all the items pretty quickly in Eastern, so then I was like, I guess I'm going to Mire. And yeah, going to Turtle Rock was a good time.
Definitely. And by good time, I definitely know what you mean by good time. That has the biggest air quotes I've seen in verbal form.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is when I originally sequence broke to the mountain with Hookshot, I actually wanted to dip into Turtle Rock, but I realized I didn't have the cane. But I just had this feeling that something was there, and I guess I was right, because I had another seed where Turtle Rock had the item I needed.
Dang. That is pretty unfortunate.
Now you mentioned sequence breaking. Funny thing is, Zunker did not do any sequence breaks this race.
Yeah, much to my surprise, because you both obviously got the Moon Pearl right off the bat. You could have both jumped into the lake as early as you did. He didn't. He waited until he got the flippers.
Yeah, I mean, I've been burned in the past by fake flippering and not getting anything, but in a race setting, I was just like, I have to fake flipper. In a couple of my past races, I got lamp and some other things from the fake flipper. So
Yeah.
it was really nice to get that value from it.
Yeah, seeing the value in that is always a plus, and it just goes to show that you can never really second guess those kinds of situations, especially when they pay out. Because even when they don't pay out, the worst thing about it is now you know that they don't pay out. They didn't rather pay out. It's like finding a dungeon item. At least now you know you have it.
Yeah, when I saw that Moon Pearl in the first chest, I had a good chuckle, and I was like, well, once I have a chance, I'm definitely going to fake flipper if I don't find them on the way.
And I'm trying to remember, was it you that went to Dark World and died really early on, or was that Zunker?
It was me. I died right in front of Hype Cave after opening it.
Okay, that was what I saw. Yeah. Gotta say, respecting the very early Dark World play, though, because I was actually in the beginning of the race expecting that to pay out even further than it did.
Yeah, it was a little risky going, but I just wanted to make the loop to Hype Cave and see if I could find anything. But it was kind of a blessing in disguise, because when I died, I ended up getting the hammer, and then the hammer led me to get the lamp on the pyramid ledge, so I didn't have to do any dark rooms, which was nice.
Wow. So Zunker just found the half magic.
Yup, in the chest right before Troll Dorm 2.
Wow, I wish I would have checked it, but I didn't really need half magic at that point.
Yeah.
Looking at what happened, it looked like he didn't even intend to. He just was about to go through the blocks, got hit back in, and like, you know what? Pop it open.
Yup.
Yeah, I really wanted to find that cape, though, because Silver's being on the bumper cave ledge, I was willing to go back.
Yeah, because if you have cape right there, it's free at that point. But you still did pretty well, silverless as it was.
Yeah, I missed a couple spins, but right before the seed, I did a little bit of Master Sword Ganon, and then I did some of the other regular Tempered Sword silverless, so that paid off a little bit.
And Master Sword Ganon will always give you some good practice on that, and it shows.
Yeah, I was happy to find the Tempered Sword under the mirror locations in K45 while I was looking for bow, so that was really nice.
You both ended up with Tempered Sword, but that's actually the one he found first. You both literally went in the opposite order finding the swords.
Yeah, once I found that mirror in the back of Hala's hut, I was like, I bet my opponent got that mirror first, and I was like, I need to go back up and get that flute right away on the floating island and
Yep.
just see what I can do.
That was a very good call because he did. You both until I want to say until about Swamp, maybe Skullwoods. We're pretty much on different paths that converged, and then you both went and covered each other's spots. And then you just ended up having a little more of a time advantage. And now Zunker is ready to go and fight Ganon. Already through, almost through, and now through phase 1. Could I have strung out that sentence any longer?
Yeah, giving you an idea how close it was. So your last 2 dungeons before the search for the bow, I believe it was Ice Palace and Swamp Palace.
Yep.
So one of you was in Ice, the other was in Swamp, and then you just swapped dungeons.
Yeah, that was a good time to make sure to plug everyone.
Yeah, I did Ice first because it was the red crystal, and I wanted to route it in with Swamp after finishing and going to Fat Fairy, so that's why I did it that order.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, honestly. At first, I was wondering why you didn't go to the pyramid first, but then I realized as soon as you started going up that you intended to route it that way, and yeah, that makes a lot of sense, especially if Swamp didn't pay out. And if it did, hey, you wouldn't have had to worry.
Oh no, Zunker taking a death.
Oh,
he has a fairy.
He has a fairy. Remember that fairy in that one bottle we got about an hour and a half ago?
The clutch fairy for the win.
Yup.
So that explains why you didn't use a potion on 4 hearts.
I wasn't sure I had a fairy, but I was, I thought about using the potion, but I was like, YOLO, I just have to keep going. If I die, then, it's my fault.
That makes sense.
Now Zunker missed the torch glitch, so this is going to be a little bit more, a little bit harder for him.
Yeah, missing that fire glitch is always going to be a little bit of a hassle. It would be a little easier if, the fire that the bats end up trailing along would actually light the torch, but why would the game let it, help you?
Now, of course, the blessing for him is that half magic, so he can use that fire rod and not worry too much.
Let's see. I think that was 5 and 6, if I just got that correct.
So, Kyle, with this win, you're 3 and 2. How are you feeling going forward?
Well, I'd have to definitely win the next 2 if I want to make bracket. This is my first Link to the Past tournament randomizer. I was looking at the 3-2 round, and there's a lot of really good people.
Yeah, you've definitely placed pretty well for yourself, especially for your first tournament. Good job. Speaking of things that are good, Zunker just took down Ganon. Make sure you're throwing that GG in chat, and we'll also have Zunker in as soon as we get word. And confirmed, Zunker is finishing an official speed racing time of 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 56 seconds. Whew, that was pretty nuts, gotta say.
It still ended up being about a 12-minute race, which
That's a pretty good difference. It's a pretty good time difference.
Well, as strung out as the seed was, though, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's a safe margin for sure. Before we raced, I was trying to get a feel of what my opponent's like average times were, and I felt like I had the edge, but I wasn't going to take him for granted, so I made sure to try to play as best as I could.
And it definitely paid off, I gotta say. Good job to you both. Zunker's going to be in momentarily, probably taking a moment to stand up and stretch. Understandable after a race like that. Yep, double checking everything right now, and now we are just awaiting for when Zunker pops in. Now you gotta really wonder, where were the last of the items? Like, where was the cape? I think we still had one item in Turtle Rock, and the other items were in Pod.
Yeah, my guess is probably Pod or maybe the rest of the laser bridge.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking myself originally. Because I think there was still one item left, and you had one key, so there was 2 chests possible in Laser Bridge. And hey, I'll just continue that conversation in a moment. Meanwhile, hey, Zunker, welcome in, and GG.
Thank you.
So, how do you feel about that seed?
It wasn't bad. I mean, it got a little bit crazy at the end there with the bow, but I mean, really wasn't the worst thing I've ever experienced. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
It is.
Rando after dark, as I say.
Yeah, you definitely a bit of a case of that, especially with me not knowing how to words about half the time.
That's fair. Really, really wish I would dip mine earlier. That's all I can really say about it right now, too.
Yeah, I definitely understand that feeling. There wasn't really much of a chance to until later on. Actually, wait, no. You did get the flute relatively early, but at the same time, there was no real incentive to dive into Misery Mire first. Because, I mean, Pendant Dungeon. And on top of that, wasn't even a green pendant.
Yeah, that's exactly why I didn't, but I should have done it sooner than I did. I think as soon as I went in the pod and saw the big key, I'm like, yep, I lost. I lost easily.
Yeah, it was at that point that you were a dungeon and a half or so behind. It was going to be a tough climb for you. Technically possible, but still it would have to come to a lot of factors, like Kyle would have had to probably fall phase 4 in Ganon.
Oh yeah, I know Kyle is a good runner, so I mean, I really came in not thinking I had, I don't want to say not a chance, but I really thought I played well early and was kind of storming through the seed a bit. Did Fighter Sword Mothula, I felt really good about that, and just the bow, man. Bow, the last item, is not fun for me.
That bow was easily the most elusive thing I had seen so far this tournament.
Well, I mean, King of Samaria and Mire Pendant and on Laser Bridge, yeah, King of Samaria
was what the wrestling community would call the heel turn. The sudden, oh no, everything is now going wrong and this person is terrible, or in this case, this Kane is terrible.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And then needing it to go to the title room because, of course, that's a thing.
Of course, because why wouldn't it after all that?
Yeah, and then I get smacked by the title into the freaking Wall Master. I'm just like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, that was rough. I remember seeing that.
But overall, though, I mean, it wasn't a bad seed. I mean, that was a little bit whatever, but for the most part, I honestly, even though my time sucked, I honestly thought I played pretty well.
Your time, it's better than most of my times. I'll just admit that.
I know. I guess I shouldn't say suck. I apologize for that, but it is.
No, trust me. No offense taken. I'm just trying to make sure you don't play yourself down too much.
No, it is definitely a sub-2able seed, and that's kind of my goal right now is to get sub-2 seeds, and just the last few seeds have been almost identical. That's not in terms of where the items are, just bow last, and then just the last place that I have to look is where it ends up needing to go, and it's
The blessing and curse of a randomizer, of course.
absolutely. I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, and I know it sounds maybe a little bit down, but
No, trust me. I'm just making sure everyone's level. Because overall, that still was a very, very fun time.
I appreciate it. And again, GG to Kyle for the win. It's a good time in that seed, especially with the way that ended up playing out. And I know he's a good runner, and good luck going forward. And thanks to you guys for restreaming and commentating.
Hey, by all means, thank you.
Yeah, GG Zunker. That was a really crazy race. The bow was totally a troll, and then Tile Room to finish it off just really was the cherry on top of a fantastic seed.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I had a moment of sad pandiness when I saw the silvers in Bumper Cave.
Me too.
Well, for a while, we thought Kyle was going to be on Master Sword Silverless Ganon.
Yeah, it was actually funny because as I mentioned to Kyle, you both ended up getting swords in the opposite order.
Really? How
Yep.
did he go? I don't even remember where the swords were, to be honest with you.
You went to Cave 45, the cave right under the Haunted Grove, for your first sword, and that was the last sword he picked up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I wanted to go south because I didn't want to dip in any dungeons because I didn't think I could beat them. Not by logic, just by my skill.
Right, I get you.
Yeah, I
That
did
was,
a sequence break to get the hook shot, and then I got the sword on the mountain, but I didn't have mirror because I didn't go to Sahasrahala's closet for a long time.
Yeah, I should. I thought about sequence breaking fake flippers, but I did the sequence break up to Death Mountain, and which didn't really provide all that fruitful. Got me the flute, that was nice, but I almost got lost in the old man cave for some reason because I kind of forgot where I was for a minute.
Oh, that's always unfortunate, losing track like that.
Yeah, I figured it out fairly quick. I'm like, wait, where am I? Oh yeah, I usually go from the backside, and I haven't done the front too much, and I kind of forgot where I was.
Ah, gotcha.
So, Zunker, you're 2-3 now, so odds of getting into brackets through tie breaks, probably not the best, but are you still going to play it out and have some fun with us?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I came into this, to be completely honest with you, when I started this. I mean, I've only been playing this game in general, not just Randomizer, since February. I still haven't done the vanilla yet, so the fact that I got 2 wins already, and I'm even at 2 and 3 right now, and actually I'm playing. I think my execution wise was not bad up until GT. I'm gonna keep going, and I look forward to it. I love this. I really am having fun, a ton of fun with it. I love the competition. I love the atmosphere, the community. It's a blast.
Oh, it really is. Oh, well, hopefully we'll be seeing you both in more races. And hopefully I'll catch you both on in your respective next race in the Swiss brackets.
Thank you. Hopefully, yeah, definitely. Once again, GG, Kyle.
Yeah, GG, and I'll be rooting for you the rest of the tournament because your score still affects me just in case there is a tiebreaker.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. I agree. That was pretty good.
Ulterior motives.
Hey,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with being upfront about it.
Hey, it's still genuine, but I just want to say thank you guys to the commentators and the trackers and all the viewers. It's just been a really fun experience so far, and I hope to have a really exciting race next week as well.
Hey, by all means, thank you, and glad to be here for it. And of course, good luck in the next one.
Thank you.
So, since I already said it about 50 billion times, hey Chad, if you've been enjoying this, feel free to give Speed Gaming 1 through 6 a follow, at least. And then make sure to give ALTTP Randomizer, or it's Randomizer, not Randomania. I'm not losing my mind.
Welcome to Randomania.
All the names are on Randomizer in my head. So, I've got it wrong all 3 times. ALTTP Randomizer. All right, I got it the last time. third time's, eighth time's a charm. Make sure in the process to also follow your runners, because like I've been saying, they've been busting their butts to make sure to give you one heck of an entertaining race. And after that seed, I mean, you gotta say, if you weren't entertained, you gotta redefine your definition of entertained. I had a funnier joke for that, and it fell flat because I couldn't remember it. Oh well, either way. Also want to make sure to give shout-outs to Fuzel for getting the restream going, as well as Spleeby for the tracking and making sure that's been tackling that, and for making sure that we were on track for when we almost lost count at the Ganon's Tower count. Anyways, no one heard that part. So, any final thoughts, Dark Shadows?
Just say it's been a blast commentating with you. It was a great race to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Likewise, of course. It's been fun times, and hopefully we'll do this soon again.
So this was actually the last race of the night. So if you want more randomizer, we got a race starting at 4:45, but we're not sure if we're going to get a restream on that. The next one that we know is going to be at 8 a.m. Felix TC versus Newbie 404 over on Speed Gaming 3. And if you're wanting to see some speed gaming in general, on Speed Gaming 2 at 8 o'clock, we have Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh, nice. I still can't watch those because I still need to actually play it. Sigh. Anyway.
You should find some time.
I should. Either way, now that we know that's going to be on the schedule, hopefully if we don't see you on at early morning hours, that's totally okay. We'll see you on sometime else on the schedule. Thank you all. Thank you again to our runners. Thank you again, Spleeby. Thank you again, Speed Gaming, for the 8,000th time. And we will see you later. Have a good night.
Good night. Get some sleep. You got some more randomizer in about 6 hours.
Shout out to the Europeans actually being awake and being like, but it's the middle of the day. That's our bad. Either way, have a good period of time. I am tired. I'm going to bed. See you all later.
Later. Good night.